right now to take over the show. And I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I want to say happy Father's Day to all our fathers and all the father figures in the house. Like we know, fatherhood is one of the greatest gifts on earth. And I think that the absence of fatherhood is the greatest gap that exists in our world. So I'm just going to share my perspective a little bit. Then I will announce, because I want us to go into groups and have some discussions today. Now, yesterday I was asked to take a session on fatherhood. And every time they ask me to take a session on fatherhood, I always say the same thing, right? Because one of the things I've had to learn early was fatherhood, that fatherhood has got nothing to do with sperm donations. Fatherhood is responsibility. And trust me, when I see people, say that people are their children, and somebody is saying that he has 1,000 children, I shake my head, because I have a daughter, biological daughter, and I have children who are like my adopted children. And you can see one of them spoke about herself. That one is a handful, can wear you out. Now imagine you have like 10 or 20 of right, where you have to, for every trauma, is dumped at you, and you have to bring clarity, I mean, you just have all kinds of and I have, Imole is a handful. If you meet her, you will know as well, and they're just scattered, right? And so why we need to provide solidity is the fact that there is crisis around the globe, and you have lost the right now to only father your biological children. Because look at America. Almost every time there is someone shooting someone shooting someone. I do not believe that a child that has been properly brought up by a father in an atmosphere of love will do that shooting. And there is something that scares me. Every time there are awards across the globe and superstars are winning awards, listen to their acceptance speech. They hardly talk about their father. They talk about their grandmother. They talk about their mother. I mean, even some of the religious leaders. Bishop Oyedepo talks a lot about his grandmother. We hardly hear about his dad. You hear them. Kirk Franklin talks about his grandmother. I mean, all these people talk about their mothers, and you begin to ask, where are the fathers? And so I want to appreciate everyone who is a father, or everyone playing the role of a father in here, because let me tell you guys, you are the superheroes. You are our superstars, and we celebrate you at all times. Now, I'm just going to quickly share my thoughts, then I will tell us what we need to do together today. Now, I'll talked about this, our title is We're Hiring. I Need Your Dad, right? Rediscovering the purpose of fatherhood. Now, when you hear the word fatherhood, what comes to your mind, right? You hear the man who never cries, the man with six packs. Unfortunately, I don't have six pack. I think I have 2 or 3, right? The 9-digit earner. Everybody wants that kind of dad who is a 9-digit earner. Everybody wants a dad who owns 7 estates. My father is very rich. A perfect man. In fact, sometimes you look at the way people are drawing you from everywhere, and you ask, do they really care what goes on within you? I mean, yesterday I had a busy session. My day started pretty early because I had to take sessions in Ireland, in Canada, I think one in Nigeria and one in the US. So different continents, and I still had to talk to people here and there. Then my children are dragging me. My wife is dragging me. The ones in Nigeria are dragging me, and someone said, "Pierre, do you ever sleep?" And I smiled to say, "Are you not the ones troubling me?" But, I find a way to sleep. I find a way to unwind. So people talk about, a father is someone who owns 7 estates, a perfect figure, flies first class, or ownership of a private jet would be an added advantage. Someone who can flaunt a child and say, "Can't you see my babe?" And that's why when I raise, I have a few ladies who are around me who are like my adopted daughters. I'm always very, very emotional. I'm worried. Who are they going to get married to? And blah, 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 blah. I just want to know, because I do not want them to get into someone who would treat them, with meanness. because I can't stand that. You know, someone who can flaunt a child, someone with amazing war chest, super executive and award winner, yet they still want this guy to be godly, right? And that's why when fathers fail, people are shocked. We should not be shocked, because if you have someone who never externalizes emotion, who lives his life to feed the family, who lives his life going around everywhere to pay school fees, to ensure the life works for you all, then you need to understand the pain that person goes through. It's almost like everyone is touching him, everyone is feasting on him, and nobody cares about him. And that's why today we started shouting, Awadokon, because we hardly get celebrated. Women have like 4 Mother's Day in a year. Almost every time, Mother's Day, Mother's Day, Mother's Day. You don't hear Father's Day. That's why it's so easy. In fact, when I was growing up, I did not hear of Father's Day. I think I started hearing of Father's Day maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, right? Because it's hardly celebrated, right? But what is fatherhood? The word father is the word, Hebrew word ab. Ab means source. So father on its own cannot just stand. You now need to, father is a symbol of possibilities, all kinds of possibilities, right? So you now need to define what type of father you are. Now, I always say to people who didn't have a good experience with their father, you might want to adopt someone, you know, who you believe can father you, right? And I'm not talking about, you know, you have a father in the Lord, you know, and 1 million people are children of one father in the Lord who does not know your name, who does not, I mean, the children who are like my adopted children, if I see they are called 2 a.m., I'm going to call them. If I see this call, I'm going to call back, right? I'm sitting with them. I'm planning the future. I want to know what they're saying. I want to know how they're faring, blah, blah, blah. That's fatherhood. Fatherhood is not a status symbol to say, oh, I have 2,000 children. No. Do you know their name? Can you recognize their numbers? Do you know what is happening in their lives? Do you pray for them and things like that? So fatherhood is the word ab. That's why in the Jewish culture, you hear Ab, but Ab does not stand on its own. Ab is father. Then you see father of what? So you see Ab Raham, Ab plus Raham. That's father of nations. You hear Ab Shalom. That's father of peace, right? So you have to understand that Ab of what are you? What source are you? Are you a source of inspiration? And I think our world needs men who can truly inspire. And when we talk about inspiration, we're not talking about perfection. You do not have to be perfect. None of us is. We have our imperfection, and that's why I never judge anyone. However, can you provide inspiration? And there is no better way to actually understand fatherhood than what we call the Lord's Prayer. And that's where I take my cue from all the time. It starts with our Father. Our Father, he didn't say my Father. What that means is a source of responsibility that extends beyond your capacity to raise the people whose semen you donated. Collective source. He also speaks to the fact that you cannot be partial, as it were, where you show preferential treatment, right? And that's why fatherhood is not a title. Fatherhood is a being that you embody. And when you fit into the criteria set for that being, you become a father. You can donate semen 7 times and have 7 biological children and not be a father. Until you take responsibility, you're not a father. You might just be a mobile sperm bank. So collective source, our Father. Next thing, it talks about who art in heaven. That talks about domain. So if you are a source of what, where is your domain, right? Where is your address? Where can we locate you? We know our Father is in heaven, right? That's God Almighty. Where can your children say you are? What sector, what area of expertise, what area, sector of the economy do you function and do you inspire? Number 3, hallowed be your name. It talks about credibility of your name. When your name is mentioned in a conversation, what do people have to say? Do people have to thank God for you? And that's why we say good name is better than silver and gold. You need to protect your name, because once your name is a mess, it will take a whole lot to recover it. Nobody wakes up and calls a child Hitler. Nobody wakes up and calls a child Stalin. Nobody wants to name a child and call a child Judas. Why? It's not because the name is bad, because Judas actually is from Judah, which is like praise, right? So it's not a function of the name. It's the fact that a personality embodied that name and messed up the name, right? And that's why people avoid the name Judas, especially in Africa. Hallowed be your name, the credibility of your name. That when your name is mentioned, there must be some kind of horror and honor that is accorded with that name. That's why you see some ladies, when they want to get married, they never drop their father's name. They still keep their father's name because that name is special and the name can open doors. So it's credibility. Thy kingdom come talks about influence. As father, you need to have, kingdom is the word king and dominion. You have to have a sphere of influence where you are king over. And that's why we've talked about how to take over territories here. And when I talk to you about wherever the power that are placed in your hand shall find expression in the desired sector, you need to make up your mind to say, what can you do best? What sector is what you can do best? Where can it be found? Who is number one in that sector right now? And how do you reach him? Then you go out of your way to begin to ask questions. Once you begin to question your sector, you become qualified to become the custodian of the treasures in your sector. And that's why I always say to people that once you find your place, you become a book other people can read. But until you find your place, you have to be reading other people's book for the rest of your life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing writing certification program. I have written a number as well. However, you don't just stay there because you want to make money. You stay there thinking and learning to say, how do I take over this sector? And the audacity to have that at the back of your mind is all that is needed for you to actually take over. Because the moment you begin to think about it, you begin to reflect, meditate on it, it's only a matter of time. I have tested and proven that over and over again. So what kind of influence do you have? Is it negative influence or positive influence? Then it says thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now it's your capacity to discover your purpose, to align your purpose with God's desire, and for your children to look at your purpose and say, my father's influence, the way my father lived, the values my father espoused must be made visible, because there's alignment between that values, between what heaven wants and what is visible on earth. Earth is in need of fathers who will be gentle, fathers who can inspire, who can truly be meek, who can model how to resolve crisis without carrying guns. Life, our humanity, our earth is in need of those fathers who can take the bull by the horn and take over leadership and demonstrate servant leadership. Thy will be done on earth. Will is what fathers live for their children, right? And so if somebody says your father and you're not in the person's will, I don't know the kind of fatherhood that person is, right? And it doesn't even have to be what happens when he dies. It can be the values he gives to you, the exposure he gives to you, the wings he spread. That's why somebody cannot say it's your father and you need help to reach some people and they say, no, I don't trust you. I cannot give my contact. No, fatherhood must be able to spread their wings and give flight to the people they call their children. A father must be able to place their children in strategic areas. Then it talks about give us this day our daily bread. That's provision. Now, the original translation of that place is give us today what will be sufficient for us for the rest of our life. That's what that place actually means. So it's not give us the everyday our daily bread. No, give us today the bread that we can eat for the rest of our life. Now that is very tricky. That is not natural. That is artificial. It's like when it says it will be like a tree planted by irrigation channels that brings forth its fruit in its season. For you to have fruit around the year, you need to create irrigation. So this is talking about systems intelligence, that as a father, one of the things you need to learn, and I think Okoyemi's dad demonstrated that he was a teacher, but he put enough bread, a bread that he will eat for the rest of the life was made available. What that means is investment. You don't eat with everything that you have. You have to think that I will leave inheritance for my children's children. I have shared here how somebody bought a house, I think 1.2 million house from a 23 or 25-year-old Jewish girl. And he was asking the girl, how did you get the money? And the girl said in the Jewish culture, when a child is born, the grandfather took an insurance policy for the grandchild and pays it for 18 years. At 18 years, he handed over the wealth to the child. A good man leaves inheritance for his children's children. What is your what right now? And are you building the bread that your generation can eat for the rest of their life? There is much treasure in the till of a wise man, only the fool spends it all. So you need to ask yourself, what investments are you putting in place that your children, it's not when they now have to go to university and they gain admission to Harvard, you're not giving them reason that I'm sorry, I would have loved to send you to Harvard, but things are tough, things are tight. No, we can those Gucci can wait later. The brand cars we want to drive can always wait, right? But what we need to know is that if we need to deprive ourselves of certain things so that we can enjoy later, we have to do it. When Gospel came here to teach us about financing, one of the things they said about Africa is that we don't delay gratification. We want to do it now. We want to keep up with the Joneses. And if you are a savior here, by right now, that should not be your way of life. You must have a clear plan for your life that give us this day. Are you putting the pressure? The bread. Are you baking that bread that can serve your family for the rest of their lives? Then it says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who sin against us. That's the love dimension of fatherhood, the forgiving dimension. The word forgiveness means for and gift, which means a gift that is given before the offense is committed. One of the attributes of fatherhood is the father never keeps a record of wrongs. Your child has done something in 1911, if there's any year like that, but you still remember, that was how you went that place in 1911. No, a proper father, will blot out the transgression of their children. And even if they repeat it, that's why when we read about the prodigal son, right? And when he came back, the father did not say, where did you go? You went to spend the money? No. You went to spend the money? No. The only thing he did was to restore him back to sonship, because he understood that every misbehavior is either a non-discovery of self or a non-remembrance of self. So when your children forget who they are, it's not a time to slap and beat. No, it's a time to remind them of who they are. That's why when your children are alone, your words, the movie we watched, the documentary we watched when we started, you could see everything that father said to the child, even though it was negative, it kept reverberating. That's why we say that for every negative word you say to a child, it takes 21 positive words to eliminate that negative word. You want to make them feel they are the best that exists. So you forgive whatever they've done. My people know me that, I will tell you what you have done wrong, but the next minute I'm playing, because I don't have the capacity to warehouse negativity or warehouse unforgiveness. So be the lover. Then second to the last, lead us not into temptation. That's proactiveness. Security. Can you proactively preempt what can happen? So your daughter is attaining teenage years or something else. You want to proactively plan and think, what will she be going through? What will my son be going through? What do I need to talk to him about right now? Do I need to be there for them? There's PTA meeting and I have a meeting. Can that meeting wait and I go for PTA meeting? A sports day. I need to be cheering them. You need to show up, fathers. That's why a lot of fathers are lonely in old age, because mothers are the only ones showing up in the most important day, because we think we are busy. My mentor taught me that at the beginning of the year, the first date you must block in your calendar are the days that involve your family members, their birthdays, open days, school days, and those things. Block them up. Then it says the next thing is career-driven goals and dates. It blocks those ones out before it takes speaking engagement, right? I felt that was very weird, but I adopted it, and it has helped me. My children are priority for me wherever they are, right? So it's important for you to know that if you don't provide security, you can lead your children into temptation. If you are always yelling, shouting, using negativity, it's a feedback to you that there's trauma within you, and you can heal from trauma. You can heal from trauma, yes. You can heal, especially if you're that man who never cried all through your growing up years. You need to go for therapy and cry your life out, the things you can't share. There are people willing to listen who will not judge you. So if you are that person who creates an ideal environment, your children will open up about what they're going through. But if you don't provide it and you look like the lion of the tribe of the home, you will drive them into the hands of the enemy. And lastly, it says, deliver us from evil, which means savior. So I haven't taught them not to get into evil. If they still get into evil, you don't now leave them in the evil. A father will say, And that's why this is House of Saviors, where we determine what happens everywhere we go. We are here to save our world. So we are the father of the new world. We are the fathers of the new generation. I believe wherever we are, whatever nation we are in, every time there is crisis around you or in your borough or in your local government, you are the one they will look up to stand. And when you speak, everyone will listen, because in you is trapped the solution to the problem of our world. So we say Happy Father's Day to you all. As we celebrate today's Father's Day, you want to ask yourself, what must I stop? What must I start? What do I need help with? Our world is in need of true fathers who can become a source of hope and inspiration to the younger generation. Source of honesty, source of hard work. My father taught me, my father wasn't very, very romantic like that, but he taught me not to steal. And he taught me punctuality. If you know my father's 8 a.m. is 8 a.m. He will be there. So in my company, we have a 30-minute policy that says that whatever meeting we're going for, we need to be there 30 minutes ahead of time. You know what my father said? He said it is arrogance for them to be waiting for you. It is humility for you to be waiting for them. So some speaking engagements, I get there, I even have them arrange chairs. They don't know I'm the guest speaker, because my father taught me. He taught me not to steal money. He taught me in a very crude manner, but the lessons have been learned. He can put a coin on his table. He will use a pencil to circle the coin. He will send you to his room. If your hand mistakenly moves the coin out of the circle, my father calls it attempted stealing. He will now begin to beat you. Of course, I don't recommend that, but he will now ask you to pull out your pocket. He will say that when you steal the money that is not yours, it tears your pocket and your money never stays when you begin to earn it. So when I do projects and there is leftover, I retire it back to the government that has given me the deal or something like that, because my father's words keeps ringing. So it's important for us to grow into proper fatherhood, and it's important for us to rise to the challenges in our world, in our day, and save our world from trauma and from the trouble the world is going through. I want to say thank you for all you do for your family. Some of the times, even when you compromise, most of the time is because you are thinking of your family, right? I want to celebrate you. You are our ultimate heroes. You don't get celebrated all the time, but in House of Saviors, we celebrate our fathers. We love you. We pray that God will bless you. It will keep you. Everything you need, God will supply. And everywhere you find yourself as a member of this house, as a citizen here, you will become indispensable to every problem that you have been called to solve. Thank you very much. Happy Father's Day to you all. My name is Praise for Wowe. Okay, so that's my Happy Father's Day wish to you. But we're going to do, a short activity right now. So we said last time that we are moving to the phase 2 of this assignment, and we're going to start that, which is basically we want to know the area and regions people belong to, so that we can know the specific challenges. Thank you, everyone. The people are going through, and then because the house is growing, and we need to know what you're going through. Are there things you want us to teach or bring speakers to address? We would like to know. We'd like to hear from you. And so that we can plan the next phase, intentionally. And also we are discovering that there are people who live in similar areas. For example, some of us are in North America, right? Where are we? What are the challenges in those areas? Let me tell you this. Someday people here will be indispensable. That is given, right? I know how that works. I have literally run a script consistently, and I know it works. So we want to know where you are, what you're dealing with. Are there challenges we can help with? Are there problems we can resolve? Are there mentors we can link you with? So that you can grow yourself to become a formidable force. I look at Nigerian political system right now, and they say, when Asiwaju Tinubu was speaking, and he said, Emilo Kon, Yoruba lo kon. What he was saying is, Yoruba lo kon, but he's saying, I am Yoruba. And my mind quickly went back to when this man was in a meeting in Lagos. And that meeting had gone on for about 14 hours, and he stood up. and he said it in Yoruba, Eko fe losun, right? What that means is Lagos wants to go and sleep, which means he called himself Lagos. You know, we might want to say, okay, the guy is corrupt and blah, blah, blah. But for everything that is working, I'm learning from it. That the audacity to say that you are Lagos, you know, I don't know where the audacity is coming from. Then it's now saying, I am Yoruba. Then maybe it's going to say, I am Nigeria. Nigeria wants to go and sleep. Then maybe someday it's going to say, I am Africa. It means you can become anything you can become. If other people are calling themselves something, what are you calling yourself? Right? So you can say Maryland wants to go and sleep, James, right? Or Okwayemi can say maybe Texas wants to go and sleep. Where you are, Texas, you must be limitless in your thinking. If you are in this house and you are still limited in your thinking, then you are not a citizen here. So we are going to go into groups. They are going to put the groups together. You will see where you belong. It will flash on your screen. Just click it. If you are in southern Nigeria, we've divided Nigeria into southern and northern Nigeria. Just go to your group. If you are in North America and Oceania, you are together. If you are in South Africa and other countries, you are together. And I think we have UK and Europe, right? So just click where you belong. You will have people who are there waiting for you to have a chat with you. We just want to feel your vibes and hear you out. Then when we finish from the group, we'll convene together and we'll close for the day. It's about 20, 30 minutes. 20, 25 minutes kind of discussion. We just want to know, we take note so that when we are planning the next quarter and the next level, we will incorporate what you have asked for in the choice of speakers we are bringing and the kind of things we have to be sharing. Okay, so thank you very much. Tolani, are we ready? Tolani, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay,
give
so
us about 2 minutes and we will be.
Okay, 2 minutes and we'll be. Okay, so you will just see, you will see your group, the group you belong to, it will be on your screen. Just click the one that is applicable to you. Okay, so you can just click where you belong and it will take you there. I think I can already see the breakout group right now on my screen. So Tolani, can you put us to what we need to do?
Yes, we're renaming. You will see Southern Nigeria. If you're from that part of the world, you will click on it and you will join in. Just 30 seconds more and you'll be able to enter your different rooms.
Okay. So 30 seconds more, so we wait. So we would want to hear from you. There'll be group leaders there. If you are in the other countries and you are not in any of the first 5 groups, just go to that other country. You also, because I'm seeing UAE sometimes on our list. I'm seeing some other countries that are none within the context of what we have, you know, so those ones will be together, but eventually we'll find a space for you. Tolani, are we ready?
All right, so if you look at your screen right now, you would see all the different rooms. Just click on the one that you belong to. So you have Southern Nigeria. So if you see Northern, it means Northern Nigeria. You see Southern Nigeria. You would see UK / Europe. You would also see South Africa / other African countries. You will see North America / the Caribbean, and then other countries. You can just click on any one that you belong to. I think we should, okay, so you can join in now. Let us know if you have any challenge joining in. You should probably see it on your screen right now. If you can't, please indicate. Can you all see it on your screen?
They said they can't see anything.
I can see it on my screen. Pierre, confirm that you can see it on your screen.
Maybe because I'm admin, I can't.
You would see a breakout room. It's like 4 dots. to the left-hand side of your screen.
Okay, they can see it. I think they can. Some of them can see now.
Okay. If you look at your screen closely, you would see it. Yes, 4 dots to the left-hand side of your screen. Click on it and you will see the different locations and you can join in. Just click the location that you're in and then click on join. Okay, some people are already joining their different rooms. If you are having any challenges joining any of the room, please let us know. And then we could help you join it. We have about 15 minutes to do this. Just go into your various rooms. Fantastic. A lot of people are already joining in. We have about 15 minutes to quickly do this.
Salani, can you assign me to North America? Cynthia, I think you can turn off YouTube, our live broadcast.